Hey everyone, welcome back to the Revenue Management Whiteboard. In this session, we're going to cover 3 key factors to think about when setting your room rates. Number 1, aligning your room rates with your F&B and other services, or ancillary revenue. What does that mean? Let's look at a standard motel. If your rooms are priced at $130 and you sell steak for $70, the $130 room price versus the steak at $70 is not balanced. The steak is probably more targeted to someone who would stay in a room for $300 a night. This is all fictitious, obviously, but what I'm trying to draw you to is aligning your room rates so that they make sense for your guests. Guests that book cheap rooms aren't going to necessarily want to spend a huge amount on dinner, and vice versa. Guests that spend a huge amount on a room, they're not going to want a cheap meal. So to maximize your room rate and to maximize your restaurant and other ancillary revenue, you want them to be aligned. The next one, number 2, is comp set. Comp set or competitive set is the other motels in your area that you are directly competing with. Now, when you're setting your room rates, you need to take into account your competitive set, but it doesn't necessarily mean you want to beat them on price. Look at it from this perspective. If you try and beat your competitors on price, so you've got your motel, your rate is $150, your competitor's rate is also $150, so you reduce your rate to $140. Your competitor follows in behind. They don't beat your rate, but they match it at $140. So now both properties have reduced their rate, but the occupancy overall at the 2 properties will be comparable. You're not having increased demand in your area because you've reduced the rate. So the reduced rate, occupancy remains stable equals reduced profit. So this is what they refer to anecdotally as a race to the bottom, where you're trying to beat your competitors on price. It's not really a strategy that anyone wins. So when we talk about competitive set, we want to price competitively, but again, we're not necessarily trying to beat them. So to recap on comp set, it's not about beating. It's about being aware of where you sit in the market and where you want to position yourself based on the features that your motel has. If you're really close to a certain exhibition center or you have a really good breakfast, you can position yourself based on that feature rather than on your price. The last one we're going to look at is setting our room and profit margin by room type. Often I find when I come into motels, we'll have a queen room, a twin, and a family. And often the queen room might be 150, the twins 160, and the family might be 180. And what I noticed straight away is by the time you subtract the costs out of this, the family room is often the lowest profit room out of all of them. What I'm trying to get at with this topic is look at your turnover costs for each room type. Price each room so that it's logical. If your family room is your lowest profit margin item, maybe that's okay. Maybe demand for your family room is the lowest out of all of the rooms, and you just price it to try and maximize the number of bookings you get. But if that's the case, where your family room's the lowest profit margin item, maybe it's also worth making your family room sellable as a queen and a twin room. So then your family room goes from 180 to 150, but more profit. Don't discount the cost involved in turning over a room, specifically linen and housekeeping. So to recap, think of your room rates holistically with your other revenue streams like F&B. Don't just think about room rate as a separate thing. Regularly track your competitors. Understand your position in the market and where you want to be positioned in the market. Track your competitive set regularly. Understanding what your competitors are doing will enable you to be competitive in the market. It's not about beating them on price, but it's about developing your own position within the market. If your family room is generating the lowest profit per room type, maybe it's not about reducing the price of. And the last point is know your margin for every room type. What I mean by that is you've got your top line revenue for a room. After you take off the costs to get that room back into service, what is the profitability level for each room type? You'll notice patterns each week. So you might have Monday through to Friday, your family rooms are always quieter and your smaller rooms sell out. If you know your exact room turnover, often it's going to be logical to upgrade individuals into your family rooms. You're going to generate more profit. That's everything for today's video on setting room prices. It's really a conceptual video just to discuss and think about how we should set prices and some of the factors that will influence our room pricing. I'll see you in the next whiteboard session, and as mentioned, please comment and provide feedback on the videos. That's how we're all going to learn and develop our revenue management skills further.